going to be playing a game called Gate, and we're going to be using this Hanafuda fusion deck. If you aren't aware, hanafuda are a style of Japanese playing cards. They have a different suit and ranking system than standard French playing cards. That's where you can buy the deck if you want to get it. It's a very nice deck. I would recommend it. This isn't sponsored. I just really like the deck. And you can actually see that underneath the regular suits, you can see that they have the hanafuda suit. So the idea behind this deck is that I actually have them upside down. The idea behind this deck is that they can be used to play either French-style playing card games or hanafuda games. So that's pretty cool. I'm probably not going to use these for hanafuda games. There actually are solitaire games that are meant to be played with hanafuda cards, but I think if I was going to play those, I would rather just use regular hanafuda cards rather than these fusion cards, but it's still a cool concept. So the game we're going to be playing today is called Gate, and it is a fairly easy game. I decided we could play something easy for now, and then the next time I think we're gonna play something harder, but I wanted to play something easy for now. This is a packer under the category of simple packer. It's a mostly closed game. Most of the cards will be in the stock where we can't see them. So we'll have to be making choices based on probability. However, since it's a very easy game, we don't really have to worry too much about that. The main novelty of this game is the layout. The layout actually is meant to resemble a gate, which is fun. You'll see what I mean once we deal it out. Okay. That's enough for our first shuffle. So to start, we will be dealing 5 cards in a column. You can overlap them a little bit if you want, just to make it clear that they are a single pile, but you will want to space them out a little bit. Something like this. Now, only the bottom card of this is going to be available for play, but we'll get more into that as we explain the rules. Down here, you're going to deal a row of 4 cards, and then above it, you're going to deal another row of 4 cards. And then finally, you're going to deal another column of 5 over here on the other side. So you can see where the game gets its name from. So, this is a game that has a little bit of specialized terminology, similar to Flower Garden. So, on the sides here, we have the posts, which are basically the reserve. And then in the middle, we have the rails, which are basically the tableau. The goal of the game is to move all of the cards to 4 foundation piles, which we'll be putting up here above the rails. The foundation piles start with an ace and build up in suit to king. So you would take an ace, then you would put a 2 on it, and then a 3 and 4 all the way up to king, all in the same suit. So by the end of the game, you should have 4 piles of 13 cards each. On the tableau, we stack in alternating color and descending sequence. So a red card must be placed on a black card and vice versa. And the destination card must be 1 rank higher than the card being moved. a black 3 could be placed on a red 4. A black queen could be placed on a red king. The bottom card of the posts is always available for play, either to the rails or to the foundation. On the rails, you can either move one card at a time, or you can move an entire pile at a time. However, you cannot move parts of a pile. So let's say, for example, this was a pile starting with a red 7 going down to a black 2. You could either move the 2 on the top of the pile, or you could move the entire pile from 7 to 2. However, you cannot move just the 4, 3, and 2, for example. You can't move part of the pile, you can only move the whole pile. Once you've made all the moves you want to make, you can begin drawing cards from the stockpile. Cards are drawn from the stock, one at a time, and placed into a waste pile. The top card of the waste pile is available for play either to the rails or to the foundation. Cards cannot be moved to the posts. You can only take cards from the posts. There's one more important rule, which is that if you empty out a space in the rails, you must fill it with a card from one of the posts. If the posts are both empty, you instead fill it with the top card of the waste pile. Now, something that's kind of ambiguous of games like this is whether or not you need to immediately fill the empty space, or if you can wait. I'm going to be going by the rule that you must immediately fill the space once it's opened. However, in practice, it doesn't really matter because, for example, one of the benefits of leaving it open would be that you can wait for a card that you want to show up in the waste pile and then move it into the empty space. But practically speaking, you can do that anyways, because if you have a move that you know is going to make an empty space in the rails, you can just wait to make that move until you get a card you want in the waste pile. So whether you decide that the space must be filled immediately, or that you can leave the empty space and fill it whenever you want, it doesn't really make much of a difference, but I'm going to be filling them immediately. And if that doesn't really make sense to you, it'll make more sense once I start playing, I promise. That's all the rules of the game. Let's get started. And we actually started with all red cards on the rails, so we can't move any of our cards on the rails. However, we can move this 2 from the post, the left post, onto the red 3. And it looks like that's actually the only move we can make right now. We've got 2 black 5s on the posts and no red 6s to put them on. And none of the other cards can be moved anywhere. So let's start pulling from the stock. We've got a red 9, a red 6, a black 10, finally something we can use. We'll put that here. But that doesn't connect any of these piles, so it doesn't let us take more cards from the posts. We have to keep drawing. We've got a 2 of clubs, and unfortunately, nowhere to put it. So that's going to get stuck in our waste pile. That could cause some problems. We shall see. A red 6. A red 8. God, this is brutal. A ace. We can take that. Now we can move this 2 to the foundation, creating an empty space. I think I'm going to fill it with this 5 here. Now I'm going to move this 4 onto the 5, creating another empty space. We'll fill it with this king. We'll move this ace to the foundation. Now we'll take this queen, create another empty space. I'll move this 8 here. That'll let us put this red 7 on the 8, creating another empty space. And we'll move the 5. This 9 can be placed on this 10. Now we can move the 8 and 7 onto the 9. That gives us this queen. We can move this jack onto the queen. Now we will put the 7, and then we can play the 6 onto this red 7 right here, and now we've emptied out the posts. So from now on, when we create empty spaces on the rails, we will fill it with a card that is on top of the waste pile. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we can make any moves to start getting back towards that 2. I think we're just going to have to play on and hope that 2 is not going to cause any problems, but it might, so we will see. We'll continue drawing a red 7, nothing we can do with that. A black jack, we can put that here. And let's see, I think we're going to wait. We can move this 10 onto the jack, but if we do that, then we have to fill the empty space with the 7. So instead, we're just going to wait until we get a card that we want more in the waste pile, and then we'll do that move. We'll keep drawing. We've got a 10 here that can be placed right here. A 3 of diamonds. I think this is what I'm going to do. Oh, I placed the 10 there, so now I wasn't thinking properly. Oh, that's bad, because now we have nowhere we can put... Oh, it's the 3 of diamonds, so we can move it to the foundation. Okay. That was a mistake to move the 10, though, because we lost our opportunity to make that move. Okay, but we will adjust. We'll take that 4 and put it on the black 5. We've got a red 8. A red king. A black 6. Unfortunately, nowhere for that. I thought we did, but I guess we don't. A black 8. A 2 of hearts. And we've got nowhere for it. This is what I get for saying this game is easy. I'm pretty sure we're actually gonna lose this one. A black 7, nowhere for that. A 3 of clubs, we can put that here. A queen, red queen, nowhere for that. A black 9 can be placed here on the red 10. A ace of hearts, I wish we had that earlier so we could get that 2 of hearts. A jack with nowhere to put it, because we don't have anywhere to make an empty space where we could put it under that 10. If we had an empty space, we could move it there and then move the 10 on top, but we don't have any moves to make an empty space. A 3 of clubs, we can place that here. We've got a 5 of hearts. Nowhere to put that. A queen of spades. A 9 of spades. We can put that here. A 4 of clubs, and that gives us a potential move here. Another black 4. And do we want to take that? I think we will. So we'll move the 3 and 2 onto that 4 and then take the 4 of spades. We've got the ace of spades finally right near the end of the deck. We'll move the 2 of spades to the foundation. Both of these 2s are trapped way in the waste pile. We'll see if we can somehow bring this back, but it's going to be tough. And then we've got this 10 which can go here. Alright, now we've just got to work through this entire waste pile, so let's try it. We'll move this 3 to the foundation, and this 4. That lets us take this queen. The queen can go, or sorry, this jack pile can go on top of the queen, like that. Now we can take the 5 of hearts. We've got a jack, but this might actually be the end of the line, because I don't think we have any way to make an empty space. Well, that's unfortunate. So, just for the record, I played this game. I I think, 8 times before I started recording, and I won every single game. So that's rare. But it happens. I guess it happens. I didn't know that even losing this game, I mean, I guess I knew it was possible. It's possible to lose any game, but I didn't know it was like something that could actually happen practically. But I think that was a combination of bad luck and also some bad plays. I guess we have to get bad luck sometimes, because I was actually mentioning in the free sale video that a lot of the time when I record, we actually get pretty good luck. I play a lot of games where I'm not doing so hot on them when I play them on my own, and then I start recording and I start getting wins, which I'm always thankful for. But it would make sense that sometimes the opposite would happen. And a game that was very easy for me when I was playing it on my own ends up giving me a little bit of grief. But that's okay. This is Solitaire after all. There is always that luck-based factor that you can't always account for. Let's start game number 2. Hopefully we win this one. Oh, it's upside down. Uh-oh, that one's right side up. Okay. These cards just have such nice designs. I want to make sure they're actually facing the right way. Just want to overlap them a little bit, just so that it's clear that only the bottom one is available. Okay, so let's start game number 2, and hopefully it goes better than the last one. We can fill that empty space, choose between the red jack or the black jack. I'm gonna choose the red because then we can do that. Now what do we want to take? I think we'll do this one, because once we get another empty space, we can take the red 10 and then the black 9 can go on top. But I think that's all the moves we can make for now, so we will start drawing from the stock. Actually, I lied. We still have this move, so we can take this 10 and then move the black 9. We'll take the red 6, move the black 5 to it, take the black jack and move the 10 and the 9 to it. Now we'll take the black 7 and move the 6 and the 5 to it. And now the empty space gets filled with the cards from the right post, because the left post is gone, so we no longer have a choice. So we just take from the right post until the right post is empty. But I think now we're out of moves, so we will draw a red 4. We'll put that here. An ace. We've got a red 6 with nowhere to go for now. Another ace. That's good. We're getting our aces pretty early this time. A black 4, and unfortunately, we're gonna have to let that go for now. Our last ace. Okay, we got the aces all pretty quick this time. A black 6. A red 10, which can go on this jack. Ace, Jack, and 10 can go on top. That lets us take the 9. I actually could have taken that before I filled the empty space. Or made the empty space, I mean. And it looks like that's all we can do for now. Actually, we can move this 6 here, take the last card from the posts, and now any empty spaces we make will be filled by the waste pile. So we're actually going to move this 4 right now so we can get this 4. We'll start drawing. We've got an 8, a red 8, sorry, a black 8, which we can put here. And now we can move this 7 pile onto the 8 when we feel the need to do so. We've got a 2 of diamonds, which we can put straight on the foundation. A black 10, and I think we're just going to leave that for now. A black 3, which we'll put here onto this red 4. A black 8. We are going to not do anything with that. I think we're going to leave it. A red 8. Now that we are going to take. We'll move this red 7 pile right there. This red 8 comes to the empty space. Actually, I could have just put it on there. Well, it gets me 2 moves. I can move the 8 onto the 9. That gets me 1 empty space. And then the 7 moves onto the 8, which gets me another. So that's fine. We've got a 3 of diamonds. We'll put it here. And that enables another move here. The 2 onto the 3. Which we're going to do. So that we can get this queen. And that gives us this move here, the jack pile, onto the queen. We've got a red king, a black queen, and I think we'll move that here. That will enable us to make a move there. We've got a red 9. We're going to leave that. A red 8. We'll put that like this. And that gives us another move. Although we already had a red 8, so we already had that move technically. We've got a 6 of clubs. Now do I want to take this? Maybe. I think I'm going to leave it and wait until we get cards that we want more. Like, actually, we could use both of those cards, I think. Because we can stack them on each other. So now we move this 8 pile right here onto this 9. We take that 6, and now we can make that move whenever we feel the need. And this 4 can also go on the 5. We've got a black king, so let's do that now. We've got a black 3, a 3 of clubs. Now we don't have anywhere to put it on anything. So instead we're going to make this move now and save that 3 from getting buried. We've got a black 7, which can go right here. Now we've got a red 7. Do we have a move that we can make a space? Because I see that red 7 can go under that 6, and we do. We can move that jack pile onto the black queen. And then the 7 goes here. And now whenever we want, we can move this 6 pile onto the 7. We've got a 5 of spades. And I think I want to take that right now. I think I want to keep this card. A 3 of hearts. Now this is a bit of a problem because I actually think, oh, we do have a move we can make right here to take this 3 of hearts. The 4 of hearts, I was waiting for that because now we can make this move. The 2 of hearts, we'll put that straight on the foundation. Actually, I just realized that since we have all our aces, it's safe to stack up for 3. We're not going to take this 3 because that'll create an empty space, so we're going to save it in case there's any more cards we want. But it looks like we're about at the end of the stock, so it's time to start making more moves. I'm much more confident in this one. take this 4. We can take the 3 of diamonds, the 3 of clubs, which creates a space. We can take the 3 of spades, the 4 of spades, the 4 of clubs, the 5 of spades, which creates a space that we can fill with this king, the 4 of diamonds, and then the 5 of diamonds, the 5 of clubs, the 5 of hearts, the 6 of spades, the 6 of hearts, the 6 of clubs, and we've got all the 7s as well. And actually, we don't have the 6 of diamonds yet, so we will take the 7 of hearts, but we're not gonna go any further than that for now. We will move this queen here, which lets us take this 8. Now we can move the 8 onto the 9, so we get the 10, and now the 6 can go to the foundation. And now it looks like we have pretty much won the game because this is our last waste pile card, and we can just stack everything up from here. So that's how this game usually goes. That first game was quite unusual, but I'm actually kind of glad it happened, specifically because it's unusual. I'm kind of glad I got that on video because, while I'm sure it was probably my fault as well, the luck was also pretty silly. And there we go. And this will give you a chance to look at that beautiful art. Some of it's obscured, but I'll see if I can get a bit of wider spread. Not really. I don't have that much control over it. Yeah, just these are some gorgeous cards. Probably just visually the nicest deck that I own, not even including the fun novelty of the fusion gimmick. Now you might notice the kings don't have hanafuda suits on them, and that's because hanafuda decks actually only have 48 cards. So the kings do not have hanafuda suits on them. Hanafuda decks have 12 suits with 4 cards in each suit, so 48 cards. So I'm seeing this game actually takes a bit longer than I was expecting to play out. It looks like games are taking about 15 minutes or so to play out. I thought it would be like a 10-minute game or so, but I guess going through the whole stock slowly kind of takes a bit of time. We'll do one more game, and then I'll kind of decide if I want to keep playing for another game or if I want to just call the video. I don't want the video to be too long. I mean, I just released that 2.5 hour free sale video, so I think releasing a normal length 30 to 40 minute video is probably warranted. So we might just end up doing 3 for tonight. So let's get started. Actually, let's do one more because we just won, so the cards are all in order. So we'll just make sure we get a nice distribution. Let's now deal our third game, possibly our final game. We'll see how I feel once we're done with this game. I love this layout. It's really fun. I like when the layouts are shaped like something. That's a fun concept. We'll take this ace and move it to the foundation. Now, do we want to take the red 9 or the black 3? Or sorry, the red 3. I think we'll take... I don't actually think it matters because this creates another space. Now we can do this and this. Now, do we want to take... It's blackjacks for both of them. What's underneath the blackjacks? We've got the red 8 and the red 7. I guess we'll do this one because now the red 7 can be used here. And is that all the moves we can make right now? I believe it is. So we will start drawing cards from the stock. We've got a red 9, a black 2, which we unfortunately don't have a place for. Uh-oh. Is this round 2? Okay, this we can place here. Take this red jack and put it on top. We'll take this black jack in the empty space. And this 8 can't go anywhere. Neither can this 5. So we continue drawing. And it looks like that 2 of spades is going to be lost to time. So hopefully it does not hinder us too much. But I have a bad feeling, that all those wins that I got on my own were just to fool me into having a false sense of security. Okay, we can make another empty space here. Move that, and we can move this 3 and 2 onto that 4, take this last 4. I should have moved the 5, but it's too late. I already made the move. That might actually... that might kill me. I should have moved the 5 because then I could move the 4 on top of it. Okay, hopefully that is not... hopefully that is not the blunder of the century. We can put this here. Now this 9 pile can go on top. That gives us the 5. Okay. So we didn't get stuck for that long. I'm gonna wait before I do that. Let's see, how far back is that 2? Is there any chance we can get to it? I don't think so. I think we're gonna have to go forwards. A black 7, which can be placed here. Actually, let's move this 4 here. Now we can take that. The red 6 can go here. The red 5 can go here. This can be moved here. This can go here. And did we do it? Did we rescue the black 2? Oh no, please don't tell me we have no moves. No, we do. We have this one. Okay, we did it. We rescued the 2 of spades. That's good. We will now continue. We've got the ace of clubs, and we'll put the 2 of clubs on that. We've got the 5 of clubs, which I think we're gonna leave where it is for now. This can go onto the black jack. A queen of clubs. Unfortunately, this could go under the jack, but I don't think we have a way to make an empty space right now. So, we must leave it, but it's no big loss. Having large cards at the bottom of the waste pile is usually fine. It's getting low cards stuck at the bottom of the waste pile that you want to avoid. We've got a 6. Oh, I just realized we can make an empty space, which I'm going to do. I missed that totally obvious move. And now we can do this. Take this 7. Do this. Take this queen. And do we want the 5 that badly? I think we're gonna take it. I mean, what other low cards are we really missing that we would regret not having a space for? You know what? I'm just gonna save the space, I think. No, we're gonna take the 5. We're gonna take it now, just to be safe. Although I have a feeling I'm going to regret that. We've got a 3 of diamonds, which can go right there. This can go here onto that black king. We've got a 2 of hearts. We'll move that straight to the foundation. A 10 of clubs. We'll put that here. Now we've got a potential move we can make there. And I'm actually going to make it because we can take this king. Then we can take this black 9 and put it on the red 10. And our waste pile is currently completely empty. This is always nice to have. I think I'm gonna leave the 7 for now. The 2 of diamonds, that we want. Although we can actually just put it on the black 3. We don't even need to make an empty space for that. There's our ace of diamonds, and we'll move the 2. We've got a black 8, which can go here. We could do this and get the 7. Let's do it. Take that 7. Now we've got a red 4, which can go here. A red 6, which can go here. A red queen. Yeah, I guess we'll take it. We'll do this. That gives us space for the red queen, which we can then move this jack to if we want. This can go here. And our final ace, a 3 of clubs, which we'll put here. I guess we could actually just move it to the foundation. We have all our aces, so our foundations can safely go up to 3. So let's do that. And now that all our foundations are up to 3, we can safely go up to 5. Let's take the 4 of hearts, the 4 of diamonds. Now we can take our 5s. Looks like, no, we do have the 5 of hearts right here. The 5 of clubs. And it looks like we have all our cards, and it looks like we've won this last game. Let's see how long. You know what? Let's get one more game in after this. I'm having fun. And I don't mind playing another one. My voice is getting a little bit tired, but I can hold on for one more. I'm really happy with how that free cell video came out. It was a bit of a project, but here's the thing. I keep complaining about how that free cell video was a lot of work, and it was like 6 days of work, and so many people on YouTube spend months and months and months working on one video, and here I am complaining over a video that took me less than a week. I think that just goes to show that I'm not super cut out for this YouTuber thing, but I'm having fun. So that's all that matters. I don't have the stamina to make super long, elaborate videos that take months to make. I don't think I could keep up that amount of effort for that long, but I do enjoy making these simple videos of myself playing Solitaire, and I hope people are enjoying them. I get nice comments sometimes, and so it does seem like people do like them, and I greatly appreciate that. I know I say this all the time, but I love taking requests, so if there's a Solitaire game that you would like to see me play, feel free to leave a comment and let me know. It can either be a game that I've never played on the channel, or a game that I've already played that you'd like to see return. This is going to be our 13th video. I can't believe we've already done 13 of these. It's only been a couple months, but it's been a fun couple months. I've really been enjoying doing this, so. Alright, let's deal out our final game. Those ones were a little loud. I'm probably gonna have to adjust the volume on those. Let's start. No aces yet. No aces on the poles either. We'll do this. Take the king, then the queen, and the jack. This 3 can go. Well, we need to fill the empty space first. I mean, we'll do it with this 7. We can put that 6 pile there. The 3 can go on top. We'll fill the empty space with this 6. The 5 can go on top. Oh, we did have an ace. I thought that was a 4. The fonts are a little. Sometimes with these cards, I've noticed that it can be a little hard to tell the difference between the 4 and the ace. If you just put them side by side, they do look a little bit similar. Let's see, we have 2 empty spaces. We'll take the 10 and the 8, and now we can do this. Put the 9 on the 10, the 8 on the 9, fill our last 2 empty spaces up, and we've cleared out both of the poles without even touching the stock yet. So now we can start working through the stock. We've got a king. I'm actually just looking to see, we do have a move we can make here, this 5 onto the 6. So if we do get a card we really want, we can take it. And I think we're gonna do it with this one. We're gonna move this 5 to the 6, move this 3 to the empty space. We get an ace of diamonds. We will take that for sure. A black 10, nowhere to put that. A red 9, nowhere for that. A red queen, nowhere for that. A red 10. Let me just double check to make sure we don't have a move we can make to make an empty space, and it doesn't look like we do. So we can't get that 10. I kind of wanted it to get under that 9, but we need an empty space to do that. Now this is a shame. This is going to get stuck here for now, because we don't have a way to make an empty space for this 3, and we don't have a red 4 to put it on. So we will have to wait. We'll have to get back to it, hopefully. There we go, finally. Now, do we want to do this now? What are the chances we can actually get back to that 3 of spades and actually get it somewhere? I don't think we can. We can move this 6 there. We get the red 8. Then the black 7 can be moved on to the red 8, but then I don't think we can do anything with that black 8. And then even if we could, I don't think we could do anything with the 3 of spades. We would just end up burying on it again, so we're gonna wait and hope that we can get back there once we're finished with the stock. Hopefully we can. Having low cards at the bottom of the waste pile like that can really be a killer sometimes. We'll move this 2 of hearts to the foundation. We've got a 2 of spades. We'll move that to the foundation as well. I actually have an idea now. Let's move this here. We take this and move it here. Now we can move this to the black 9. I didn't consider the black 9 before. Now we move the 7 pile onto the 8. And the 3 can go to the foundation. We actually didn't even need to do that to get the 3. But we're going to do it anyways because now we can move this 9 onto the 10. But we're going to wait to do that. We've got a 4 of hearts. We'll put that here. A queen of spades. A 4 of clubs. We'll put that here. And now we have a potential move here. Moving that 3 of diamonds onto the 4 of clubs. We've got a 6 of clubs. A queen. I just realized we could have moved the queen of spades onto the king of hearts. I'm missing some obvious moves right now. I think maybe I'm getting a little tired. Maybe I should have quit after the 3rd game. But I think we're still gonna win because this does seem to be going quite well right now. We've got this. I think I'm going to move the 4 of spades to the foundation like that and take this 5. Now we've got the 2 of clubs that can go straight to the foundation. The 3 of hearts. That has to go to the foundation. But we have all the aces, so it's actually safe to go up to 3. A 7 of clubs, nowhere for that. A 2 of diamonds, we'll take that and we'll stack up some more. We can go 4s. 4 of clubs. Now we can go 5s. 5 of spades, 5 of clubs, 5 of hearts. And we're going to wait before we take... No, we're not. We're going to do it right now. We're going to take that 5 of diamonds and move this 7 here. So now we can move that 6 onto the 7 if we want to. And actually, we're not even going to do that. We're just going to keep stacking our foundations up because we're perfectly even, which means as long as we keep it even, we can keep stacking up safely. And this seems to be going very well now. We don't have a 7 of diamonds, but we can still stack safely up to 8. Oh, I just made an empty space. I kind of wasn't paying a lot of attention. I made several empty spaces. And we'll just take this. I think it honestly doesn't really matter that much because all of these cards can be dealt with in some way. We've got a jack here. Now we can place this 10 there. We'll move this 9 here so we can get the king. Now we can move that queen onto the king if we want. We can also move this 10 onto the jack. We've got an 8 of diamonds. We're still missing the 7. The 9 of clubs, we'll just move it here. Sorry, 9 of spades. There's the 7 of diamonds. And now let's proceed in stacking up our foundations some more. 9 of spades, 9 of clubs. Move that there. And we'll take the 10 of clubs, 10 of spades, 10 of hearts, 10 of diamonds. And now we have 1. So, hopefully the last 3 games showed that this is a pretty easy game, and that first game was just a bit of a fluke. I was very surprised that happened. But I'm kind of glad it did. It does show that you do need to be paying a bit of attention. It's not a brain-dead game. It's not like you can just autopilot the whole thing and never lose. You do need to pay a bit of attention. And if you don't, that first game could happen to you. And you don't want that to happen to you. There we go. So, that was Gate. A pretty fun game with a fun layout. Simple gameplay that doesn't have a huge amount of depth, but pretty entertaining and fun. And I really liked using this deck. I highly recommend this deck. It looks gorgeous, and you might get something out of the Hanafuda fusion if you are an enjoyer of Hanafuda games. Personally, I've never played a game with Hanafuda cards. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you later. Thanks.